YouTube sponsorships are literally everywhere. And if you've been on the platform at all in the past few years, chances are you've seen your favorite creators promoting one company in particular, BetterHelp.
Get help that is better. BetterHelp. But therapy can seem like this big, intimidating thing, right? Well, that's where BetterHelp comes in.
Get 10% off your first month of therapy by going to betterhelp.com/NoahSampson.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. Listen, is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, then maybe you should check out BetterHelp.
For around 6 years now, BetterHelp has pumped millions into YouTube sponsorships, snagging sponsorships with your favorite creators and becoming nearly impossible to ignore. In fact, they've outspent even giants like Amazon and Toyota, flooding YouTube with ads. And who are they targeting? People dealing with something as serious as mental health struggles, people looking for help. On paper, this looks like a good deal. YouTubers get paid and their audience gets access to mental health services. Unfortunately, that's not how the real world works. In reality, BetterHelp has been repeatedly criticized and even banned for charges like false advertising, exploiting therapists, and committing patient data theft.
BetterHelp is under fire this morning. The FTC has proposed a ban on the company for sharing users' personal data in order to advertise.
Surprisingly, these massive scandals haven't stopped most YouTubers from joining hands with the company and cashing in on their viewers' weaknesses, knowingly or unknowingly. But before we dive into all the controversy, let's get some context. BetterHelp was launched in 2013 with a straightforward promise: making professional counseling accessible, affordable, and personalized for everyone. The platform promised to provide effective counseling for people dealing with stress, anxiety, relationships, addictions, trauma, and depression. And with almost 5 million registered users in 2024, BetterHelp is attempting to mass-produce therapy for people who have little or no access to in-person counseling. Think of it like Fiverr, but for mental health. They offer a fully online therapy service with professional and licensed therapists, offering cheaper alternatives to traditional in-person therapy. Therapy from the comfort of your home. Who wouldn't want that? Well, not me. And here's why. BetterHelp first rose to fame in late 2018, around the same time some of YouTube's most famous creators were either quitting or taking extended breaks due to severe burnout.
Yeah, which was weird because I said that I needed a break and I was getting burned out and I just needed to figure out what I wanted to do, and everyone's like,
it was gotten so bad that it was basically either stop making videos or disappear forever.
She was probably pulling 70, 80, 90-hour work weeks with travel in between.
And I'm so unhappy!
BetterHelp saw the increasing mental health struggles among creators and jumped at the chance to market their services. And sure enough, by September 2018, it was as if miracles were happening across YouTube. Suddenly, these same creators were promoting BetterHelp, positioning it as the solution to their issues, whether it really was or not. It was a smart business move by BetterHelp, aligning their brand with creators who happen to be openly battling burnouts.
In this video, I'm working with BetterHelp to help provide another resource for you guys.
Today's sponsor is the folks over at BetterHelp. And if you've noticed that I've been doing a lot better over the last couple of months, it's because I got back into therapy and I started right there with BetterHelp. And I recommend if you need therapy, it's a good place.
Chandler from the future here to tell you that this video is now sponsored by BetterHelp.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode of the H3 Podcast. I need some BetterHelp. I am anxious right now.
So, like I mentioned earlier, today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. They are an incredible online therapy service that is not a suicide hotline replacement.
And this strategy worked wonders. By 2018, BetterHelp had sponsored over 100 YouTubers, pulling in more than 100,000 new users from the campaign alone. They were going really strong until their success hit a wall when PewDiePie and Drama Alert uncovered some ugly details. They also called out creators who were helping spread its message, or to put it more bluntly, profiteering from their fans' depression.
This one says that they don't guarantee the verification of the skills, degrees, qualifications, certification, credentials, competence, or background of any counselor. With BetterHelp, you'll be talking to professionals. Just beware that it's your responsibility to determine whether they are or not. It's your responsibility to determine whether they have any degree or qualification or certification or all these things.
BetterHelp was also accused of charging ridiculous prices, hiring sketchy therapists, and blatantly lying about aspects of its service. For example, since therapy is offered through text, they imposed a word limit and didn't pay therapists for anything beyond that, even though they were still helping clients. With millions of views on these exposés, BetterHelp's reputation took a serious hit, despite CEO Elon Musk's blog post trying to smooth things over. He claimed that BetterHelp did verify licensed therapists, but conveniently disregarded the company's own terms of service as nothing but a mistake. In reality, their terms allowed therapists to operate without full verification, raising concerns about the quality of care. In reality, between overworked yet underpaid therapists and confidential data breaches, it was clear where BetterHelp's priorities lay. As these issues surfaced, many YouTubers scrambled to cut ties with BetterHelp, not wanting to be dragged down with the controversy.
I trusted DeFranco, I trusted the company, so I started promoting them. Now, I don't know how many memberships I sold, but now that all of this has come out, that their terms of services are scary and bad. And I want you to know, I no longer, after seeing the terms of services issues, I no longer feel safe promoting it.
And some even lost their sponsorships due to trolling.
I think they are a completely reformed company because they did get in trouble for selling people's information. But we've all made mistakes. That's why we need therapy.
That's why therapy's good.
I'd sell information if I had any fucking information. I'd sell it right now.
I'd sell it all the time.
But there's one person who held along. To Philip DeFranco, BetterHelp was innocent. Even after he cut ties and posted a bland apology video, he didn't really believe it was a scam.
Yeah, I ended my partnership and sponsorship with BetterHelp not because I was like, oh, it's a scam. I ended it for two main reasons. One, even though BetterHelp sent me this mountain of positive testimonials from people that signed up using my link, they used the service, they loved it, there were also a few people that had negative experiences with it. I just wanted the hate machine, the insane pile-on to stop.
No surprise there. It's easy to be biased when you're partnered with a company.
BetterHelp has been a sponsor of our videos. We've even partnered with them at a company level.
BetterHelp continued on as usual, and that's where the lockdown started. With the world being shut down during the pandemic and nearly half of Americans struggling with serious mental health issues, telehealth companies like BetterHelp hit the jackpot with perfect timing. Thanks to the massive influx of new users, BetterHelp made over $700 million in revenue in 2021 alone and crossed the $1 billion mark in 2022, assisting over 1 million people with therapy. And soon social sites like TikTok started buzzing with negative reviews from users claiming that BetterHelp had actually made things worse for them. In other words, BetterHelp was not delivering on their primary service. However, this wasn't even close to the worst thing the company was doing to its customers. Back in 2020, news site Jezebel shared a disturbing truth about BetterHelp treatment of its users' personal data. Put simply, they were selling people's private information and health data with third parties like Facebook and Snapchat. BetterHelp's CEO denied these accusations at first and labeled them as nothing but conspiracy theories. However, the truth finally came to light in March of 2023. When the FTC basically confirmed the claims made by Jezebel a few years ago. Despite BetterHelp's promises to keep information private between patients and counselors, the FTC found they were doing the exact opposite. FTC ended up banning BetterHelp from sharing user data for advertising purposes and slapped them with a $7.8 million fine for breaking customer trust.
Under this ban, BetterHelp would have to pay $7.8 million to consumers. That money will be given in partial refunds to those who paid for counseling services between August of 2017 and December of 2020. That's the time frame the FTC says most of the data sharing took place.
So, if you signed up during that period, congratulations! You're getting a $10 refund, barely enough to cover lunch in 2024. But hey, justice was served. Sort of. BetterHelp got caught red-handed and had to pay for it. But did it really hurt their business? Since the FTC ruling, their revenue has dipped by 9%. But for a company expanding internationally and planning insurance coverage, it's just a bump in the road. The real question is, why are major influencers still backing such a controversial platform despite the consistent backlash? If you're hoping for a complex reason, the answer is disappointingly predictable. It's money. BetterHelp has the financial resources to make offers content creators simply cannot or don't want to refuse. Take December 2020, for example. They dropped over $7 million just on podcast ads. That's not by accident. From their history, BetterHelp knows that influencer marketing works wonders, especially in the mental health space. But podcast advertising is where they've truly hit the jackpot. Many podcast hosts often share personal stories about their struggles, which helps them build deep bonds with their listeners. This connection is essentially a gold mine for BetterHelp. They can tap into this trust to promote their services, even if some find the approach a bit shaky at times. It's the same strategy which gave them their initial boom in 2018, just a bit more focused. And fast forward to 2021, they took this strategy to new heights by spending over $76 million on podcast ads, nearly 3 times more than any other company. But that's not all. Over the last 4 years, they've consistently spent an average of $8.35 million per month on these ads. On top of that, they're paying creators up to $200 for every sign-up through their links. This creates a straightforward incentive. The more creators sell out to promote BetterHelp, the more cash they rake in. And it's no secret that money can make people bend their moral compass. A lot of YouTubers who apologized during the 2018 controversy now seem to be suffering from collective amnesia, acting like the whole thing never happened. Jax Films is a prime example. He apologized for promoting BetterHelp back in 2018.
I guess I got a little bit of flack for that because I was one of the disgusting YouTubers that did a BetterHelp promotion, and this was before I knew any of the the controversy. Because
some YouTubers like Kyle Hill even went on to defend BetterHelp after he was called out for taking their sponsorships. But there's one YouTuber fans hold most responsible for promoting this controversial company, Anthony Padilla. With 7.6 million subscribers, he's built a brand around compassion, empathy, and giving a voice to people often overlooked by mainstream media. From interviewing those with rare medical conditions, to sitting down with individuals battling serious mental illnesses, his connection to BetterHelp is hard to ignore. It's right there in his video descriptions. Anthony was once hailed as YouTube's interview king, but that title comes with responsibility. If only he had done a bit more homework before backing certain services in his videos.
And this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/Padilla because sometimes existing is exhausting. And you know I can't go without thanking BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. Therapy has personally helped me reframe my view of the world and myself by allowing me to feel empathy for my younger self and therefore understand who I am today better. Whether dealing with anxiety or depression or just the day-to-day struggles of being human, therapy has been a guiding light for me. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, BetterHelp might be perfect for you. It's entirely online and it's designed to work around your schedule.
You see, Padilla's channel has built a reputation as a safe space for marginalized communities and mentally vulnerable individuals. So when he promoted BetterHelp, a company with questionable practices, as the go-to solution for mental health, it felt like a betrayal. The controversy around BetterHelp is well documented, with concerns about its practices making headlines. That said, BetterHelp isn't going anywhere. With its aggressive sponsorships across YouTube and plans for expansion globally, we're likely to see even bigger names vouching for them. Sure, sponsorships are attractive, but there's a fine line between promoting a product and endorsing something that may not be in the best interest of your audience. When a company claims to fix a broken mental health system and influencers back that claim, people naturally follow. It's a responsibility on influencers to do more than just read a script. They need to fully understand what they're supporting.